Hey guys, welcome back to my channel.
We're talking with Colleen Christensen today. She has so many followers on YouTube and Instagram. It was just so cool to find her. And then I realized I actually knew her. So Colleen is joining us. And Colleen, we have been in the same class at the gym for a long time. Really, it's so early in the morning that nobody really talks. And then I realized I found your pages on Instagram and I started following you during the pandemic and I realized it was you. And I love your content. So I wanted to share it with everyone. You're a dietitian and you're all about no food rules. Tell us about it.
Yes. So I am a non-diet dietitian and I teach intuitive eating. So really what that means, it means learning to listen to your body's cues to kind of guide what you're eating. So not following diets or these food rules to kind of decide what you're going to eat. And the funny thing is we're all born as intuitive eaters. When we're babies, we understand how to give cues when we're hungry, we stop when we're full, and it's all naturally regulated. But as we go throughout our lives and we're influenced by diets and society and the media, we start to fall for these diets, and it really takes away from our ability to listen to our bodies and to understand what's satisfying, what feels good. And that's really where no food rules comes from. It's all about getting away from the external reasons of eating and getting back to listening to your body's cues and doing what feels good.
I mean, you are up against so much with this message, diet culture, body image. So many people in so many different ways struggle with this. It's hard to imagine where to start. Where do you tell people to start?
Yes. So I think for me, the first step, one of the easiest steps is to just take inventory of kind of the environment that you have. And I always tell people to do kind of a social media detox, if you will, and go through your feed, go through your Instagram account, whatever social platforms you use, and just really take a look at the information that you're taking in. So is that information that you feel like is helping you, that's making you feel empowered about your choices, or that's really confusing you and making you second guess, foods that make you feel good or eating in a way that makes you feel good, and almost create this like anti-diet bubble is kind of what I say, because we truly are our environments. I mean, the society and the messages that we receive are one of the reasons that it's not as easy to listen to our bodies anymore. So almost using that in your favor and stocking your feed with accounts that are going to kind of show you this new way of learning how to eat, and that we don't need to follow these food rules or fall for these fad diets, I think is a really great first step. And then I do also recommend reading the intuitive eating book. Intuitive eating has really, especially during the pandemic, kind of like exploded across social media, but there's a lot of misconceptions out there on what it is, what it isn't. So I do always recommend reading the actual book, Intuitive Eating, just as a really great place to kind of, okay, what is this actually about? Because like I said, especially on Instagram, there's only so much that you can portray in those tiny little squares, that the book is really, really helpful.
Tell me about your background. So you're a dietitian. When did you decide that this is the direction you want to go?
Yeah, so it's very interesting. So I am a registered dietitian. Honestly, I never saw this as a career that I was going to go down. I had previously struggled with, always trying to shrink my body and really always trying to diet and follow these food rules. And I just got to a point where I'm like, I can't keep living this way. I feel like I'm not living. Like my main focus is food and I'm missing out on so much of life. And I was tired all the time. I felt like I was stressed about food, and that's all things that don't need to happen in life. So I knew that I had to make a change. So I dove into this path and started doing the work myself. And it was very confusing. It was very hard because, like you said, we're up against all of this diet culture. It's a huge industry. And it was very confusing. It was very isolating. I felt lonely. And I was just kind of trial and error, see what worked, see what didn't. And then I finally got to this point where I feel like I am now an intuitive eater. I understand this stuff and it's just second nature. But I knew that the further I got along this journey, it just became natural for me, that I felt like I had to step into the role and be the person that I didn't have that could guide others and make this journey a lot easier, because it is so worth it.
Ask yourself, okay, what am I feeling right now? Are you feeling stressed?
Getting to a place where where you don't have to feel stressed about food. You're not constantly trying to control your body or change it, and you can feel confident no matter what it looks like. And you can enjoy all foods without feeling super stuffed or going hungry. And life's better on a full stomach.
Yeah, and you have quite an army. You call it the Society. Tell us about the Society.
Yes. So the Society is my membership program that I have. And what I do in there is I take all of that trial and error that I've done, and I create step-by-step how-tos so that others can find this journey, like I said, way faster than I did. It took me years, lots of trial and error, and no one needs to go through that. Like, I consider myself the guinea pig of all this. Like, I figured out what worked, what doesn't work. And I really, like I said, just want to help people find this way faster. But then I thought, again, like, I always put myself in the shoes of what did I need at that point? I needed guidance, and I needed to feel less alone. You know, my then boyfriend, now husband, he had no idea how what advice to give or how to support through that. He did wonderfully, but I just felt like no one really got it who was going through the same thing. So in the Society, it's that educational piece, but it's also a community. So a community of all shapes, sizes, and colors that can come together and share in real time their journeys. And what I love about it is it's so supportive, and there's always advice being given, and you're never alone in all of this. There's never a stupid question because someone else is also going through this, or someone has gone through it and they have advice to give. It's just this constant, like a 24/7 support group. So we do that. I also, again, think, okay, what would have helped me throughout this process? So we do group coaching, workshops on other things like meditation or gut health that can also help with this process. So it's really, the Society's been my baby, and it's just continuing to grow. And I really think that we have a long way to go as we're, fighting diet culture and this thin ideal that we have in the society today. But I think that we're getting there, and it just makes me really excited.
I think you're right. I love your work. I love following you on Instagram, watching your YouTube videos. We'll link some of them here in our story. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to me.
Yes, thank you. Always.